Snow, sleet, and freezing rain in the Triad. Right now, we're mostly seeing sleet, which is best case scenario, but that does not mean that we are out of the woods just yet. School closings are already rolling in this afternoon. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is now closed on Monday and Tuesday. Guilford County Schools was already out on Monday for a teacher workday. Alamance Burlington schools will be remote tomorrow, and Randolph County schools will be closed. As more closings come in, we'll bring them to you both on air and online on WFMYnews2.com. Here's a live look at the radar right now. The storm is sticking around through the evening, and with cold temperatures behind, power outages will be a big concern. You can see a lot of radar activity still, but it seems like we're in a lull, but do not put your guards down. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Julie Luck. We have a lot to get to as we are still in the heart of this winter storm. Our meteorologists say the storm will be winding down maybe around 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, but that danger doesn't end there. Following this system is extremely dangerous cold air. We're talking about temperatures in the single digits. We have crews all across the Triad checking on conditions and talking to first responders about what they are seeing out there. Take a look at this video from Greensboro where the weather did not stop people from their morning workout. Look at that dedication. They took to the streets for a very chilly run. Look at them. And this is video from High Point this morning. All white out there. My drive to work, very similar conditions. What is so great to see a lot of people heeding the warning. I did not see too many cars on the roadway. Let's get now to our team coverage. WFMY News 2's Christina Dillon is in Winston-Salem this afternoon checking on the conditions there. But we need to start with our chief meteorologist, Tim Buckley, what we could expect for the rest of the evening and really, Tim, for the next few days.
Yeah, Julie, thanks for that. We're really looking over the next couple of days, of course, as still probably being pretty difficult for us. So where are we now and where are we still yet to go? I'll tell you, it's kind of been a bit of a journey. Last night when we were talking to you on the late news, I was getting really concerned. We already had a glaze of freezing rain pretty much coating everything out here at the station. Our cars were all iced up. That had me really worried. Typically, once you switch over to a freezing rain situation, you don't switch back. But something amazing happened. Right around about midnight, we switched over to this fine snow and sleet combo. And that's what you've been seeing at your homes throughout the night, throughout the morning, and really even still right now. We're kind of getting this fine glittery snow almost. It really looks like glitter. So this has all been positive. Obviously, the roads are treacherous out there. We don't really need to tell you that. We'll show you that in just a second. But my concern is still there a bit as we go into the afternoon. I do still think that as we work our way through the rest of today, we'll have to still keep an eye out for possible power outages. Now, I do think that risk is going down. That's just my opinion. I think it's trending down, but it's not done yet. So we'll kind of hang on through 8 o'clock and see what happens. And yes, you do still want to be worried about the cold yet to come, especially Tuesday morning. It's cold right now. We're about 15, 19 degrees. But by Tuesday, that's when we're starting the day between 5 and 10 degrees. So that's some really nasty stuff. It can be confusing to look at all those graphics and see all that stuff. So I tried to break it down more simply for you. Today is our storm day. And even if it's light right now, we still have some heavy action coming this afternoon. Icy roads are already with us. They'll probably stay with us most of this week on the side streets. The power risk still there, but maybe trending down a little bit. For Monday, the roads will still be the issue, and then the winds pick up a little bit. And then, as I said, for Tuesday, likely to still have those icy roads and also bitterly frigid cold temperatures for our Tuesday morning. You talk about frigid, and you know, it can be a little simple when you look at it this way. Right now, we're about 16 to 17 degrees. That is so cold outside, and that's why what's falling from the sky is having a chance to refreeze before hitting the ground. You can't really get freezing rain very well when it's 16 degrees outside. So we hope that that temperature actually continues to stay pretty cold, but we'll keep an eye on. Now, right now, the radar fairly quiet, although I can tell you I'm standing right about here. The radar is pretty quiet, and it is precipitating here in the News 2 Weather Garden. This is what I want you to kind of focus on, though. You think the storm is over with? Look over here. Nashville, Tennessee today is actually a bit of a disaster zone. They have trees down all over the place, super freezing, all these kind of problems. many hundreds of thousands without power. So that's in Nashville. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but we are going to be in line to get this between about 4 and 8 o'clock. So later on today in that afternoon window, we do have to be very careful and very cautious of what's going on. We speak about Nashville. There's a live look on Broadway. Again, I think the power outages in Tennessee are in the hundreds of thousands right now, and it's been a bad storm for them. Lots of downed trees. The size of this storm is immense, going all the way from Texas all the way up to Maine, as we've shown you over the last couple of days. So bottom line, going forward, we're still going to be watching very carefully the power outage risk. I'm a bit uncertain on that right now, and I do think even though our icing totals will be lower than they could have been, we still could pick up a quick quarter-inch of ice this afternoon with that band, and that's what can weigh down trees and power lines. So we won't count our chickens just yet. A traffic map, again, we'll show you more reports from the roadways, but there are lots of slowdowns, of course, and you should be. If you're driving normal speeds, when it's snowy outside, you are absolutely doing it wrong. So a good day to stay inside if you can. Here's our futurecast. This is the next couple of hours. So around 3 o'clock or so, we start to see some precipitation. What I'm about to say will sound really crazy, but about 5, 6, and 7 o'clock, I truly think there's even a chance we could have some thunder in this precipitation, even when it's freezing outside. That would be a first for me. I've never experienced that, but from what I'm seeing with this system, it could be sleeting, freezing rain outside, and yes, we could still have thunder. We'll be watching that for you later on. All of that precipitation is shutting off by about 7 to 8 o'clock, and then after that, overnight, our temperature will actually rise a little bit in a small way, up to about 30 degrees. But we have a long week ahead. You know how it is around here. You pick up a little snow and ice, you need it to warm up, and you need snow plows to help. And if you don't have that help, well, the roads are going to stay pretty icy. So just putting it out there, we're probably going to have icy roads through the middle of the week or even the end of the week. Our weather alert will continue through Tuesday morning, and with good reason. We still don't have any warm air in the forecast, even through next weekend here in the Triad.
We all have to be very, very patient. There's a lot of roadway out there to clear. Tim, thank you so much. Governor Josh Stein spoke earlier this afternoon, giving an update on the state's response to the storm and emphasizing that you should not be driving in these conditions.
Right now, there's a lot of ice and wintry junk on the roads. As temperatures get colder, that will only turn to hard ice. Fortunately, there's not many cars on the road. That's a good thing. We want to keep it that way.
Yes, during my very slow drive to work in just about an hour and a half ago, I went 20 miles an hour, but I went very, very slowly, and I was looking at all the conditions. There was a lot of sleet and snow still out on the roadways. I did see plows, but like I said, there's a lot of roadway for those crews to get to, but we thank them so much and all the first responders for everything that they do. We appreciate all your assistance. Now let's look at the road conditions. This is a look at the orange, the yellow, and the map. You just saw that there. It is messy but slow going. That means people are heeding the warning and going slowly out there. Now here's the City of Greensboro's interactive map. It shows the snow removal. Check their website to track the progress of clearing the roads in real time. Like I said, though, a lot of work to be done still. Road conditions are slick and could be getting even more dangerous across the Triad because of that freezing rain expected in a couple of hours. WFMY News 2's Christina Dillon is in Winston.
Yeah, I'm here in downtown Winston-Salem where sleet is falling right now. It's been falling off and on. I've been up for hours and it kind of comes and goes with how heavy it's been. As you can see, the road behind me hasn't been plowed, and I want to show you the overpass. Still not plowed here in Winston-Salem, those highways. We've only seen a few cars on each street. People are staying inside. We haven't seen a soul out here on the sidewalks at all, which is good. It's what officials said. They wanted people gearing up to hunker down, stay inside with these dangerous road conditions. Now, Winston-Salem said that they are not plowing or salting the roads right now because temperatures got so low last night that salt and brine had become ineffective overnight. So they're essentially waiting until that warms up, till the temperatures rise, and then they're going to get those plows back out here, and that's when they're going to re-salt. So we're going to be here. We'll be watching. I do want to show you guys, I got my snow onto yardstick. We want to see how much snow has accumulated right here. So down, I've got a little under an inch to about an inch. right here on the roadway. As I said, it hasn't been paved yet. In this snow, it is packed down. It's pretty crunchy as you walk around, not exactly fluffy. So we'll continue to watch. We'll be watching when the plows come through and keep you guys updated. In Forsyth County, Christina Dillon, WFMY News 2.
Christina, thank you. Winter weather can make the roadways very difficult to navigate, and Governor Josh Stein recommends that you not drive unless you absolutely have to. If you do have to head out, check your car for these essentials. Make sure you've had your battery, antifreeze, oil, and wipers checked by a professional. For your tires, inspect the tread and get a new set if they are near their wear limit. Test your headlights and taillights. And finally, be sure to have an emergency kit in your car. Here are some other things that you should have inside your car. Make sure you keep your gas tank full in case you are stuck on the road longer than planned. Also keep this in mind. If there are widespread outages and the power goes out, gas stations could also lose power, and then that means that you cannot gas up there, and there would be a limited supply of gas stations that may be open. Next, be sure to have jumper cables, a first aid kit, a charger, flashlight, flares, snacks, and water. And do not forget the items to stay warm: boots, mittens, hats, a blanket, and a snow shovel just in case. Continuing our coverage now, WFMY News 2's Manning Franks was in Greensboro all morning long. He has an update on the conditions there.
I'm here at Duke Energy's Operations Center off of Fairfax Road. This is where a lot of the planning goes underway, especially during a winter storm like this. And right now, thankfully, no news is good news. There are not a lot of widespread outages, if any, in the Triad area at this time. We were thankfully able to speak to Logan Stewart, who is a spokesperson for Duke Energy, and here's what she had to say about those current numbers.
So we woke up this morning and there's not a lot of outages, and that's great. I think the thing to remember is we don't want to get complacent because there is another band of precipitation coming in. And I think that's really, for folks at home, what we need to remember is that it's not over yet. So as this precipitation moves in, what we really watch as Duke Energy is the type of precipitation. So the ice for us is a lot more critical than snow because that ice is heavy. So it sits on the trees, the tree branches, also sits on the lines, and just 1/4 of an inch of ice on the tree branches, 1/2 an inch on the lines is where we start to see outage issues.
The good news out of all this is that those linemen that are from Canada, from other states, well, they are here to assist Duke Energy, and they will not be going anywhere until they've been given the all clear signal from them. They will remain here until that all clear signal is given. So all for you need to know is that if you see a down power line or you lose power, be sure to report that to Duke Energy and stay away yourself from danger, because this is a different beast entirely when it comes to ice storms. So again, be safe as you traverse any road, because icy conditions will still persist for the rest of the week. Live here in Greensboro, Manning Franks, WFMY News 2.
Cold mornings usually mean you're warming up the car. Back in the day, it was because the car needed it. But cars from this century, they don't really need that.
Automakers today say let your car run for maybe 30 seconds before you take off, because the oil in the car, the way that it works better when it's moving between all the parts, and it does that better when you're on the move.
For your comfort, the quickest way to feel warm in a cold car is to put on those heated seats. Experts say the heat-to-body connection is much faster than trying to heat up the cabin of your car. And don't be surprised when you see the low tire pressure indicator light come on.
When it gets cold, the rubber in your tire and the metal in your rim, they contract at different paces, and that lets air out of your tire. And it is very, very bad idea to drive anywhere on a tire with too low air. You leave yourself open to the possibility of a blowout or other tire damage, and in winter, you don't want to be stranded on the side of the road.
Along with the low tire pressure, car experts estimate that freezing weather drains your battery power by 30 to 60%. 'Tis the season for people to get new batteries. The good news is, if you actually get the car started, your battery naturally recharges as you drive.
As this WFMY News 2 weather impact alert day goes on, we're getting more pictures of what this storm actually looks like from all of you at home. Take a look at this. This by far the worst picture I've seen from across North Carolina today. This one in Pineville. Look at all that ice that they got. Just lots and lots of icicles everywhere you look in Pineville right now. Here's what that ice can do, according to Duke Energy. Just a little bit Half an inch can bring down power lines. So that's the number that we're really going to start to worry about when the triad gets to half an inch. That's when those power outages might really start. Also, the sleet does not really accumulate. It doesn't pose a risk. That's why we want the sleet instead of the freezing rain. But right now we're dealing with more of that freezing rain. Take a look at downtown Greensboro this morning. It's so pretty. You can't even see the road, just totally blanketed. No one's even out there. But Forsyth County wants you to stay that way. They want you to stay at home if possible. The sheriff wrote this earlier today with a picture of the roads and how bad they are out there, saying, I want you to know that the driving conditions are very hazardous. The temperatures are so cold, it makes it very difficult for even your windshield wipers to work because it's just so cold out there, so stay inside. A lot of questions coming in about snow plows because they're starting to get out and about, but NCDOT wanted to answer some of them. One of the most common, they said, is this right here. Plows with blades up, they're not slacking. Here's what they're doing. They're likely headed to their route with anti-ice resources or conditions that have different needs. So if you see that plow up, they're still doing their job. Give them the space, by the way. You want to make sure to stay away from the plows. NC Emergency Management also wanted you to know if you do get stranded on the side of the road because you get stuck in the snow, here's what you need to do. You want to pull off to the side if you can and stay in your vehicle until help gets there. Run the heat for 10 minutes each hour to try to save your gas and make sure you stay warm. And this is really important. I'd actually never heard this one before, but I think it could save your life. So listen up. You want to keep your exhaust pipe clear of snow to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. That also includes ice. So go out there and give it a little shake if you're stuck in your car. Or of course, you could just walk around. We saw this earlier today in downtown Greensboro. People going for a run, crazy. Look at this in shorts at that. Not me, but good for you. Also walking out there right now are the Buddhist monks. We've had a lot of questions about where they are. They left Raleigh this morning on their journey up towards DC, but they did go out in the snow. They wanted to say that they were there to be warm hearts in cold weather, and that even though it was snowing, it was important to continue their mission of walking for peace.
They had really good stuff. Driving in, I saw a lot of exercisers as well. That's true dedication. You know what it is? It must be the New Year's resolutions, and people are sticking to them. You know what? More power to them. I love it. Okay, as the winter storm continues, we are continuing to track all the conditions all around the Piedmont Triad. WFMY News 2's Giselle Thomas is in Burlington with a look at what is happening there.
All throughout Alamance County, the roads are covered in ice. Now, the Department of Transportation says that all of its priority roads and also major interstates are covered in that. And it looks like this. Yes, it looks like a white blanket that's covering the roads. But the main thing is, you see how this is hard and tough when you stand on it? It is not soft and cushy like snow. Now, this is a very similar situation all across the county and several counties that we know in the Triad. Safety officials are asking people to please stay off the road and only travel in a case of emergency. Now, all throughout this morning, I've been here in Burlington. Right now, I'm off of near where the Alamance exit is. You can see there's some vehicles that are going by, but the main thing is looking at the difference between the actual ice that's in the road and what people have been driving on. We've also seen plows go through this area, also seeing safety officials drive through. The good thing is we know that there haven't been any weather related incidents that happened overnight, and we're hoping that that continues throughout the rest of the day. Make sure that you're being safe and not traveling unless needed. In Burlington, Giselle Thomas, WFMY News 2.
And keep in mind, a lot of people are thinking, oh, it might be over right now. No, we are still in the thick of it. Freezing rain coming in a couple of hours, could stick around until about 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. Of course, keep it here as we continue to give you the latest forecast with the most trusted and most accurate weather team in the Piedmont Triad. Continuing our coverage now, WFMY News 2's Amber Lake joins us live now in Archdale. Amber Lake, my good friend, what are you seeing over there?
Well, Julie, just like a lot of other people, I woke up to a winter wonderland. And while some of us adults are probably not the most excited about it, I know my nieces and nephews, my dogs especially, they are stoked to be a part of this cushiony, soft snow situation. But I want to show you something before I show you the roadways here in Archdale. This is my mailbox, obviously. My husband came out earlier and he was shoveling the driveway for us, thank the Lord. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna help him. So I started brushing off of his car, and when I was brushing off the snow like this, it gets to a thin layer of ice. Our cars are completely covered with a sheet of ice, and that is very descriptive of our roads as well. So this is my road here in my neighborhood in Archdale, and a lot of roads around here I've seen online look exactly like this. If you can even tell, there has been a truck that has driven through here. There was a four-wheeler that drove through here, but you can't even tell on the tracks. The track doesn't even go down to the roadway because the snow is just packed on top of ice. This is how a lot of those roads look across Randolph County. And of course, we've covered this time and time again, right? There's a lot of rural areas across the Triad, Randolph County specifically. And because of that, Randolph County schools, as well as other schools, have closed for Monday. We did a story, I think it was last year sometime, when the roads got really icy, and it was probably 2 or 3 days after that ice sleet event came through, and the roads in Randolph County and the back roads of Randolph County still looked really bad. They have some of those big icy spots, those black ice spots, to where, I mean, you can't drive through it. You can only go around it. And that's why some of those, you know, these counties make these decisions to close these schools, because even though your road might look decent, some other roads might not look decent. But I mean, look at this, Julie. It just looks like a blanket of white covering this. I mean, it's crazy because this road was treated, all of the roads around here were treated, and this is what it looks like today just because of the ice, because of the snow, and we are expecting to get more. So, I mean, if you're wanting to build a snowman, like I'm sure my nephews are doing right now, then I'm sure this is a perfect time to do that, but maybe not later on tonight.
Amber, you know, since you're standing there and there is all that snow, and Giselle, you know, we're talking about the snow is kind of crunchy. Can you dip down, try to make a snowball? Is it the kind of snow that can form a ball, or is it just kind of like the crumbly kind of snow?
All right, I'm gonna do this. Only for you, Jules.
Thank you.
Only for you I'll be doing this, because I just got these new snow pants and they're a little bit tight. So.
I thought you was gonna do a snow angel. Maybe that's next.
No, my gosh, if I did a snow angel, I wouldn't get back up. No, it just crumbles. It just crumbles in your hand. So maybe a snowman, a snowball fight is not the best idea. And look at these little pellets. I mean, can you even see? Look at all these little pellets in my hands right now. It's almost like, I mean, it's not packing whatsoever. I mean, it's packing down on the road, but it's definitely not packing down for a snowball or a snowman. So maybe this is good sledding weather. I don't know. I'll have to call my sister and see what they're doing over at her house. But I mean, you're not making anything with this.
Oh, yeah. I was watching some kids play earlier today, and when they were attempting to do the same, but when they're tossing, it was just like a mist, right? There was really like nothing really hitting, but they were still having fun.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Amber, you were talking about sledding, though. We do have to keep in mind, remember, we still have these temperatures that are going to be extremely cold. So if there is sledding, make sure the sledding is done in a very safe area that is not near any type of body of water, because there might be some icing or some a thin layer of ice on these waterways. But we certainly do not want anybody getting into the water, and there has to be a water rescue, and it's certainly still very dangerous. So keep in mind where you're sledding. Be very, very safe. Okay, Amber, I'm going to let you go because you can do that snow angel, and tell Blake that he needs to continue working on his shoveling, okay? All right, so we're talking about what happens in the coming days. Schools, they are already closing. Some closures are coming in, the announcements. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is closed tomorrow and Tuesday. Guilford County Schools was already out on Monday for a teacher workday. We do not know the plan beyond that. Of course, we will keep you posted. Alamance Burlington schools will be remote tomorrow, and Randolph County schools will be closed. So as you can see, some closure, some remote. So, you know, it all kind of depends on what each particular school district decides. We will keep you posted When we get more information from the school districts, we'll bring that to you on air and online on WFMYnews2.com. You've probably heard us use the term wind chill, but what does that exactly mean? Meteorologist Claire Fry explains what it is and how to fight it.
First, it's important to understand that wind chill is not a temperature you can measure with a thermometer. It is used to describe how wind affects our body's perception of temperature. Wind chill, or feels like temperatures, like you see right here behind me in this example, are a combination of the cooling effect of wind and the air temperature. Simply put, the wind chill represents how much faster the body loses heat when it's windy. Here's why it matters to you. When it is not windy, the layer of heat that remains over our bodies helps us stay warm. However, when wind blows, it carries the heat away from the body faster, causing the cooling effect known as wind chill. The stronger the wind, the faster you lose body heat. So the wind chill will be lower with the higher amount of wind. So, how can you protect yourselves from the effects of wind chill? First, you're going to want to dress in layers. The more layers you have, the better your body can trap heat. Be sure to wear a windproof outer layer to block the wind, and don't forget hats, gloves, and scarves that help prevent heat loss. And if it's windy and cold outside, try to limit your time outdoors as much as possible. Stay warm, everybody. Thanks for raising your weather IQ with me. I'm meteorologist Claire Fry.
Let's check back in now with WFMY News 2's Christina Dillon in Winston-Salem with a look at the update on the conditions there. Christina.
All right, guys, so just a few minutes ago, I said it was sleet. It has definitely transitioned into freezing rain now. I don't know if you could hear it, but it's really loud coming down. It's kind of pelting us on the body and the face. The little pellets are sticking in my hair. So very quickly it changed. Now, I also want you to look around in Winston-Salem here. They haven't plowed the roads yet. So this is one of the main roads in the downtown area, completely unplowed all the way up through there. We've only seen a few cars take this road. No plows so far that I've seen come down here. And also on the other side, we've got the overpass with the highway. Now, same thing, has not been plowed. We've only seen, you know, a handful of cars coming and going on this interstate, but you can see that it's completely white down there. They've got a little bit of the discoloration from the cars that have gone by, but people are taking it slow. We haven't seen anybody out here, no one walking around, no one, I mean, in this weather, in this freezing rain, I don't see why they would want to. It's a good thing. That's what officials said. Stay inside. This is the type of weather that can make those roads dangerous, can make the sidewalks slick, extremely dangerous. Now, Winston-Salem has said that they're not out on the roads with the snow plows or with the salt because the temperatures were so low last night that it made that brine and salt they had already put down ineffective. So they said they are now waiting until the temperatures warm up to bring those plow trucks back out and to bring that salt back out. If you can see it, I mean, I don't know how well you guys can see it on the camera, but we can certainly see it here. It is just coming down. It's coming down like a thunderstorm, really, but it's these little pellets of ice. So covering the street. I also have got my snow on 2 yardstick. I do just want to give you guys a check-in with how much we've got on the ground right now. Looks to be, I said it was about under an inch. It looks to be just about an inch to a little over an inch now. So the stuff that's falling is definitely sticking. As I mentioned before, this snow isn't very fluffy. It's crunchy, it's hard. When we walk, you can hear it. So this freezing rain, I would assume it's gonna pack this snow down even more. So we'll be here, we'll keep you posted when these plow trucks come through as this freezing rain continues and whatever else this storm might bring. And for South County, Christina Dillon, WFMY News 2.